I'm obsessed with the Conservative leadership contest. Is it wrong? Is it wrong?
It is hilarious. It is a bit sycophantic, I've got to say. It's so interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had, sorry to interrupt, but just so I can introduce this. Kemi Badenoch yesterday saying she was middle class until she worked at McDonald's when she became working class. Then today we've got Robert Jenrick, who seems to be the front runner. That's not Robert Jenrick there. So he's giving an interview to the Mail. English identity is under threat. Go on, Reem.
Well, it's just fascinating because the Conservative Party leadership election hasn't, I think, managed to make its way into the headlines as much as other events that are occurring with regard to the Labour government. But what is interesting is effectively they're all sort of fighting each other and trying to define what conservatism means. And this story, which is front page of the Mail, is Jenrick saying and calling out to all of those party members, effectively saying that actually he is the right-wing candidate in this election. And we know that people like Tom Tugendhat have defined themselves as being more on the left of the party.
I don't know why, I mean, Kerry, watching it, these things, basically you go to them, you have the last two go to the members and the members vote for the one who's the most right-wing. That's how it works, because they're all 71.
Right.
So you've got to at least pretend to be right-wing to win it.
Yes.
Yeah, which is a little bit of a worry. But then you have Badenoch. Yesterday, that was literally the gift that kept on giving. Yes. It really was. People were like, I had lunch in John Lewis. I'm now middle class. It's just so brilliant.
I don't know if she meant, it's one of those things, I think she meant I understood what it meant to be working class because I worked in the...
Please.
Even that, though, is a bit
mad.
Give me
strength.
And I also just think you don't have to necessarily be from that particular class to understand what it's like, or indeed to actually implement policies that benefit those particular people. I think the point with Badenoch is that she has positioned herself as the more free market, kind of pro-business, pro-people candidate. And Jenrick is just banging on about immigration wholeheartedly. So there are definitely two elements of that right-wingness.
Do you know who I think the most important Conservative Prime Minister was of the last 14 years?
Who?
Have a guess. Truss.
Do you think?
She burnt down the house. Because for better or worse, she's the one who just set the whole party on fire. And she keeps wandering around thinking she did a great thing.
I think so. Her hubris is astronomical.
Astronomical.
She still thinks, to this day, that the public love her, that the public think that she has effectively been misguided. She was brought down by the Whitehall machine. She was brought down by government. Now, I do think there is an element of truth to the fact that Liz Truss herself wasn't allowed to implement the policies that she wanted. I mean, effectively...
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, she wanted to slash taxes mainly for wealthy people, and there was a financial crisis as a result. Yeah.
And she proved, as you said, I mean, the fact that Truss was so important for the party, she proved that you cannot ignore the economy. You cannot ignore the markets.
Yeah, but this is about identity, isn't it? You know, this is about what it means to be English, the culture wars, which is just infuriating. You know, what does it mean to be English? You know, are we going to say when we ruled the world, that's how we define English? Or is it really about being kind, being good to your neighbour, being those things, those decent things? You know, what does it really mean to be English rather than just how many people are we letting into the country? Once you start
defining English, by definition, you start to get a bit exclusive.
Of course it does.
It's othering. And you tend to go a bit white, and I think it's problematic.
It is problematic, predominantly for the reason that actually this entire notion that you can be a native English person is actually quite absurd. You can't, effectively. There are a very small minority of people that actually are ethnically Anglo-Saxon, if you will. But what's interesting about what Jenrick is saying is that he is using the immigration topic, he's using the fact that many people in this country are afraid of the fact that there are too many people that are coming into this country.
Let's just stick on politics.